a young man and never been kissed, I got to thinking over what I had missed. Got me a girl, I kissed her and then, oh Lord, I kissed her again. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine.
He asked me would I marry and be his sweet wife, and we would be so happy all of our life. He begged and he pleaded like a natural man, and then, oh Lord, I gave him my hand.
Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. I worked mighty hard and so did my wife, working hand in hand to make a good life. Corn in the field and wheat in the bin. I was, oh Lord, the father of twins. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine.
Our children numbered just about 4. They all had sweethearts knocking on the door. They all got married and they didn't hesitate. I was, oh Lord, the grandmother of 8.
Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Now we are old and ready to go. We get to thinking what happened a long time ago. We had a lot of kids, trouble and pain, but oh Lord, we do it again. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine.
Right, we've now got the ProAx positioned correctly. I leave the spikes off initially so I can slide them around and move them into the right spot, and then when I find that spot I spike them. People have asked, why do you position your speakers so far out into the room? Well, the bigger speakers need to be positioned further away from room boundaries, because most walls that are made out of jib over a wood framing act like a big drum skin, and they produce a lot of resonances. If you put the speakers up too close to that back wall, you'll excite all those resonances and your bass will become very boomy. Also, as you bring the speakers out further from the wall, as I explained in a previous episode, you'll get more space. And what we talk about when we talk about sound staging as audiophiles is we're talking about the width, the depth and the height of the image. Big full height speakers that are 7 foot tall like the Magnaplaners can recreate the full height of a vocalist standing there. You close your eyes and you can pick how tall they are. Smaller speakers that only go to 1 metre high have a bigger job of doing that, but they can create some pretty believable images. So when we talk about imaging, we're talking about how realistic does that image sound. Does it sound like the musicians are all spread out in space and you can actually go up and walk around them, put your arms around the vocalist, that sort of reality? Or does it sound, as a lot of systems do, like everybody's lined up against the wall ready to be shot? It's all very flat, very one-dimensional. So that's what we mean by soundstage. When we're talking about imaging, we're talking about how clearly you can pick out things within that soundstage. So for example, with the drummer, can you hear him going around his drum kit? Can you hear him playing the cymbal up here and the snare down there and the hi-hat just off to the side of the snare? Is that imaging clear, or is it somewhat vague and you have to really concentrate hard to pick up what's going on? Can you tell if there's 1, 2 or 3 backing vocalists? Those sort of things. When you position your speakers as we've done here, you can pick up a lot more of those clues and get a more accurate sound. I like to toe in the speakers so that they are pointing directly at the listening position. So from the listening position I can't see either the left side or the right side of either speaker. I'm looking dead straight down them. Proax like to be towed in to that degree, but some other brands of speakers are not so critical, or you can't get as big a difference by doing that. Others, like the Golden Ear speakers, do like to be towed in quite a bit. As far as the distance to the back wall, here I've got the distance 750 from the rear wall, and I consider that pretty much a minimum. In this room I can get away with a lot closer distances because of the mass that we have in the walls. About 6 tons of plaster in these walls, and the walls are 350 millimeters thick, made out of straw bales, so we have a different sort of room here and different acoustics. Another tip for you if you're wanting to get the best sound out of your room is the rules of thirds and fifths. If you can put your speakers at either 1/3 of the length of the wall, of the room rather, or 1/5, so one speaker would be at 1/5, the other would be at 4/5, or one would be at 1/3, the other would be at 2/3, that will give you the least standing waves within the room in most rooms. Similarly, if you can do it for the length away from the wall behind the speakers to 1/5 or 1/3 of the length of the room, that will work the same way. So in this room I've got these speakers, the Big Maggies, at 1/5 of the length of the room. The room is 10.4 meters long, so those are just over 2 meters out from the wall. So there's a couple of tips for you. I'll now give you a listen to Manfred Mann's Earth Band, a Nightingales and Bombers album, and a track off that. So there you go, a little bit of an introduction to what the Pro X is sounding right now. Pretty damn nice. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, feel free to share this video around, and if you've got any questions or things you'd like covered in future series, please put a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.